And to details, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi extended on Thursday condolences to the Tanzanian people and government for the death of President John Magufuli. The president said that Magufuli had made great contributions in serving his country and the whole African continent. President al-Sisi hailed the strong Egyptian-Tanzanian relations and expressed full support to the Tanzanian people. In Tanzania, flags flew at half-mast as the country began a 14-day after announcing Magufuli's death of a heart condition. As condolences poured in from abroad, Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta, current head of the East African Community Bloc, said Africa had lost an illustrious leader. Ethiopia, Britain and the United States also sent condolences. Magufuli was first elected in 2015. His expansion of free education, rural electrification and infrastructure investments won him support, as did his efforts to increase Tanzania's stake in mineral resources. Delivering Egypt's speech at the UN high-level meeting on water issues, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli stressed on Thursday that the Nile River is a lifeline for Egyptians and that Egypt has always attached a top priority to its water security, being an existential matter closely linked to the survival of its people. Also, Egypt's permanent representative at the UN, Ambassador Mohammed Idris, announced that the Egyptian mission in New York had led a movement to form a group of 17 nations to draw a clear international vision on water-related issues. The details.
Addressing the UN high-level meeting on water issues, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli stressed on Thursday that the Nile River is a lifeline for Egyptians. The Prime Minister noted that along geographical and historical facts, Egypt has always attached a top priority to its water security, being an existential matter closely linked to the survival of its people. Madbouli emphasized that such a priority is gaining momentum amid the many challenges the world is witnessing to secure the outreach of water to all peoples across the globe. He said that Egypt values organizing the high-level meeting, which tackled the international water issues within the framework of the Water Agreement 2018-2028 in light of such challenges. Madbouli added that Egypt relies on the path of the agreement to push forward international efforts to deal with those challenges through developing concepts and principles that enhance rational and sustainable water resources, and urging the states sharing the international rivers to prioritize the values of integration and to activate the basis of justice and not to harm neighbors' interests. According to Madbouli, the escalating crisis of water shortage worldwide has resulted from human and natural reasons, as well as an increase in consumption rates. Earlier, Egypt's permanent representative at the United Nations, Ambassador Mohammed Idris, addressed the meeting, announcing that the Egyptian mission in New York had led a movement to form a group of 17 nations to draw a clear international vision on water-related issues. Idris said that a statement issued by the group sets clear priorities and steps for the UN to follow up on the implementation of water-related goals in the Sustainable Development Goals. He noted that Egypt had managed to convince 155 countries to sign the document, which forms a majority bloc in the United Nations. The statement said it is inevitable for the countries to cooperate in settling disputes related to water resources to prevent possible conflicts.
Egypt rejected on Thursday statements made by the Ethiopian Ministers of Foreign Affairs and Irrigation, marking 10 years since the beginning of the Ethiopian dam project. Speaking at a press conference, the two ministers reiterated Ethiopia's intention to continue the process of filling the dam, even if no agreement was reached on rules for filling and operating the dam with the downstream countries. Foreign Ministry spokesman Ambassador Ahmad Hafiz rejected the statement, saying they reveal Ethiopia's intention to impose a status quo which is unacceptable and represents a threat to interests of the Egyptian and Sudanese peoples. Hafiz warned that those unilateral measures affect security and stability in the region. South Sinai Governorate celebrated on Thursday the 32nd anniversary of Taba's return to Egypt's sovereignty through a diplomatic and legal battle, which reflects the greatness of the state and its strong grip on its territories. Marking the occasion, a ceremony was organized by South Sinai Governor Khalid Fouda and attended by a number of ministers and senior officials. The governor raised the Egyptian flag as part of celebration, which saw military, musicians, bands playing songs and national anthems amid precautionary measures against the coronavirus. Meanwhile, a number of developmental projects are planned to be inaugurated in Taba. The Central Palestinian Election Committee starts on Saturday receiving candidacy applications for legislative elections for 12 days. That ends on Wednesday, the 31st of March. Meanwhile, Palestinian factions expressed their appreciation to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's support to Palestinian people and for hosting the Palestinian National Dialogue. After wrapping up their second round of national dialogue, the factions issued their final communique in Cairo as they agreed on solving national issues, holding legislative, presidential and national council elections, in addition to boosting national partnership to consolidate the national democratic path. The factions also stressed on the unity of Palestinian lands on legal and political basis and the necessity of upcoming elections in Jerusalem, the West Bank and Gaza. The factions also signed a code of honor in which they asserted their keenness on carrying out elections with all its stages with transparency and integrity. And to details. Egypt's stock market indices collectively retreated on Thursday, being affected by selling operations by Arab and foreign investors. The main EGX 30 closed at 10,918.4. The small and medium EGX 70 retreated 0.86%. The more expanded EGX 100 lost 1%. The overall transaction and dealings within the session reached £1.3 billion.